Before we start today,
Whoa!
we gotta let you know,
These are now live.
the YouTube's monitor buddies are now on sale, but they won't be for long. So
Go pre-order, get your orders in.
link in the description, go get your monitor buddies while you can, because once they're gone, poof.
That's it.
They're gone.
Yeah.
But now,
To the weird news.
ever since the saga of Nicholas Alaverdian, aka Nicholas Rossi, aka Arthur Knight, landed on our radar a few years back, we've had to confront the fact that faking one's death is something that people actually try to do in real life, not just in the movies.
Yeah.
It's something that definitely sounds like it would have been a lot easier maybe 100 years ago, before credit cards, social security numbers, mass surveillance, and the internet.
Yeah.
But to try and fake your death these days, it sounds like a huge pain in the ass, and not really worth it unless you've got a really good reason.
No one's pulling full-size, human-sized dummies up to the tops of waterfalls anymore.
No. No one's getting into barrels anymore because of woke.
That's true.
Now, for Nicholas Alaverdian, the reason to fake his death and then pretend to be an English gentleman was that he was trying to escape prosecution for multiple serious crimes, which, moral judgments aside, is a pretty good reason to fake your death, I guess.
Yeah.
But today we bring you a story of a guy who did something similar, but not to escape prison. Sounds like he just kind of did it because he felt like it.
His home was a prison, I guess. Here's NPR with some backstory. On August 12th, Green Lake County Sheriff's Office received a call that Ryan Borgwart had not returned home after kayaking on Green Lake. Borgwart had called his wife the night before, saying he was almost finished and heading towards the shore. Sheriff Mark Podall said in a press conference on November 8th. Deputies immediately launched a search, using boats and sonar to survey the lake. They found his car, kayak, life jacket, and a tackle box that included his driver's license, keys, and wallet. Still, Borgwart's body was nowhere to be found. The sheriff's office persisted. Over the next several weeks, they deployed drones, a dive team, and 3 cadaver dogs to assist with the search. Keith Cormican from Bruce's Legacy, a volunteer group based in Wisconsin that helps search and recover victims of drowning, spent 28 days on the lake looking for Borgwart, according to Podall.
So yeah, sounds like the guy drowned. And since Green Lake is Wisconsin's deepest inland lake, 237 feet deep in some parts, I mean, it makes sense that they wouldn't find the body. He's down there, but
Some would say it would be the perfect lake to fake your death in.
the perfect lake.
Yeah.
It's the perfect crime, except not really, because authorities then noticed that Canadian authorities had run a background check on the dead guy a day after he supposedly drowned. And then when they searched his laptop, they discovered that he had wired money to a foreign bank, had taken pictures of his passport, changed his email address, been talking online with a woman in Uzbekistan, and had recently taken out a big life insurance policy. A lot of red flags suddenly coming up.
You would assume.
So it sounds like he went to Canada and then he flew to Uzbekistan. It's believed that's where he currently is, though no one is quite sure. But what is sure is that he's definitely alive. And just 3 months after faking his death, he's already talking to the cops back home to try and maybe sort this whole thing out.
All right, you got
Maybe
me.
faking my death was a bit rash, but you gotta look at it from my point of view. My bitch wife was always nagging.
Is he happy in Uzbekistan? We don't know.
Probably not.
Yeah,
I would imagine no.
I would assume he's trying to negotiate with the cops to be like, all right, yeah, look, I made a mistake and wasted countless funds and time. So let's get a little deal going here.
Listen,
This guy's the Jussie Smollett of killing himself.
you don't understand how much it sucks here in Uzbekistan.
Yeah.
They're trying to send me to Ukraine. It sucks.
Yeah.
I don't want that.
Green Lake County Sheriff Mark Podall said Thursday that his office had been in contact with Borgwart for the past 2 weeks. Borgwart's family has also been notified. Great news. We know that he's alive and well. The bad news is we don't know where Ryan exactly is, and he has not yet decided to return home, Podall said in a news conference. The sheriff shared a brief proof of life video sent by Borgwart from November 11th. In the video, Borgwart, who has not disclosed his exact location to authorities, showed his new apartment. I am safe, secure, no problem, he said. Podall said Borgwart gave a number of reasons for staging his death. He just had personal matters going on, and he felt this was the right thing to do, Podall said, adding that there is no evidence to suggest that any of them were related to criminal activity or personal danger. He just felt like it.
Seemed like the right thing to do.
Yeah.
Work was getting a little crazy. They were making me stay an extra hour to do the end of the year accounting. That's another thing. I don't know what this guy's like. I need to know more about. Anytime I hear about this, I'm like, you are severely lacking in details. I want to know what this guy's job was. I want to know what his wife looks like. I need to know more. Show me the town where he lives. Does it really suck? Maybe Uzbekistan's an upgrade. Who knows?
Just based on gut feeling, I'm going to say he was chatting it up with some Uzbek ladies and was like, you know what? Sounds pretty nice.
And then that raises the question, were those Uzbek ladies even real?
Yeah, exactly.
Did he get catfished and go all the way in?
Probably.
I'm coming over. What? No.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's a lot here that remains unclear, chief among everything, why he did this. Seems like he fell in love with a woman in Uzbekistan online and decided to leave his wife and kids for her in the most overly complicated way possible.
Yeah.
But if you're going to go through all that trouble, why would you give up the whole charade after just 3 months?
Because you probably got catfished.
It's very bizarre.
Yeah.
But one thing that he is being pretty forthcoming about is how he did it. If he did. But he did do it. Borgwart's plan to fake his death and flee the country was months in the making. He told authorities that he chose to disappear on Green Lake because it was the deepest lake in Wisconsin, according to Podol. On the day of his disappearance, Borgwart carefully stashed an e-bike near the lake before taking off in a child-sized inflatable boat while carrying a kayak. On the lake, he flipped his kayak, discarded his phone, and then paddled the small boat to shore. From there, he rode his e-bike some 70 miles to Madison, where he boarded a bus to Detroit and then another to the Canadian border before he boarded a plane. There's a foolproof plan. As long as, I don't know, crossing international borders makes your name show up on searches that the cops back home can then reference later on, this is a foolproof plan.
Doing all the elaborate steps just to go to the border and be like, yes, hello, that's me, is very funny.
Wisconsin, if you're going to do this, you got to live in like Southern California or like Southern Texas.
Okay.
You got to be able to take a boat into Mexico.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Or take a boat into Canada.
Yeah.
Maybe disguise yourself as a plant.
He'd already been on one boat. It wasn't time
I'm done with boats. Fuck America. I'm going to, I think, is Uzbekistan landlocked?
I don't know.
Probably not
You've
too
really
much
caught me.
kayaking there.
Yeah. It sounds like he does feel bad about making his wife and kids think he died. Oh, well, good. Good.
My bad.
Uh-huh. Well, do you feel guilty about anything? Should I?
Were
I
you
don't know. You got to tell us.
Were you like really sad when you thought I was dead? I bet you were like so regretful that you weren't nicer to me when I was still alive. But good news, I am still alive, so you can be nicer to me.
He actually hid in the rafters, waiting for them to get upset. When they didn't, he finally left.
Fuck.
Well, fuck this.
I'm going to Uzbekistan.
That's it. I'm going to Uzbekistan. So good news, he does feel bad torturing his wife and kids with the thought of
Maybe
their
not
dead
torturing
parent.
them. Maybe they were cool with it.
And also costing the local community tens of thousands of dollars. But this doesn't seem like the kind of situation that can be unfucked.
No.
For what it's worth, this sheriff has mentioned he might be willing to drop any potential criminal charges if Borgwart cooperates and comes home. But the sheriff is using the upcoming holidays as an incentive for Borgwart to come home so that he can be with his family for Christmas. And, I mean, at this point, we're going to need to hear from Borgwart's wife about that.
Yeah. Do they want him home for Christmas?
Why don't you stay there?
I'm home. I got you some really weird candies from Uzbekistan.
It was a long trip, but I'm home and everyone's real happy to see me, right? And this will never happen again, I promise. She hasn't made any public statements since this news dropped, smart. And we imagine she's got some very mixed feelings about all of this. Faking your own death to move to Uzbekistan just doesn't seem like one of those things that can be fixed with a little holiday cheer. Hey babe,
mistletoe.
shut up with the mistletoe. How about you pour me a big glass of eggnog and we, just to hash this out.
Yeah. Did you miss me?
We got to imagine one of the reasons that Borgwart hasn't yet committed to coming home is that this is one of the most embarrassing things imaginable. The sort of thing that would make you want to go hide in some far-off place to avoid seeing the looks on your friends' and neighbors' faces. And luckily for him, he's already in Uzbekistan, so if he wants to avoid embarrassment, he's doing a good job.
Yeah. No one's going to go look for you there.
The only way he'd come back is if he really played it up like, all right, we all had fun.
It was a prank.
I
did it as a goof.
You got me. And no, it wasn't great there. I'll stay right here.
It's a real shithole, actually.
Beautiful lakes.
You ever see Borat?
Yeah, so.
But moving on now to some other news from the world of crime. we've been doing the show long enough that certain trends start to emerge, and one weird recurring theme we've seen is cheese heists. Multiple times a year, we hear about criminals in various parts of the world making off with a big truckload of cheese, which is odd because cheese just isn't something you'd usually associate with that. Cheese is for eating, not spending. But it just keeps on happening. Thankfully, the CBC has a report this week where they answer some of our burning questions about this. Some of the recent heists have been sophisticated, risky, lucrative. They've grabbed our attention, sparked our sympathy, and riled our imaginations. Maybe it's because we love a decent crime story, whether the would-be thieves are thwarted or make off with hundreds of thousands of dollars in stolen goods. Or maybe it's just the fact that what they're stealing is cheese. Luxury cheese, in fact. On Thursday, BC RCMP revealed they'd recently foiled an attempted cheese heist at a Whole Foods in North Vancouver. They'd been on patrol September 29th when they found a cart full of cheese outside the grocery store. A suspect fled on foot, leaving $12,800 worth of cheese behind.
I don't know if that's a lot or a little, depending on what kind of cheese it is. Sounds like a lot, but, I've seen those big wheels go for a lot of money, too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is a lot of wheels.
This most recent attempted heist comes as the cheese world is still...
The cheese world.
The cheese world is still reeling, Elliot.
Mm-hmm.
It comes as the cheese world is still reeling after a UK cheese heist that saw con artists make off with more than £300,000, or more than $540,000 Canadian, in cloth-bound award-winning cheddar. A 63-year-old man was recently arrested and released on bail. The cheese, 950 wheels of cheddar weighing 22 tons, stolen from Neal's Yard Dairy in London, has not been recovered. But why cheese, of all things? We suspect cheese to be the target due to its high resale value on the black market, a spokesperson from North Vancouver RCMP Media Relations told CBC News in an email statement. As soon as a product goes up in price significantly over a short period, like cheese has, you will attract the attention of organized crime, explained Professor Sylvain Charlebois, the director of Dalhousie University's Agri-Food Analytics Lab. You won't steal kilos and kilos of a product unless you know who you're going to sell it to. We are clearly dealing with organized groups here that are basically finding new markets. And look, they're already in a perfect shape to wheel right out the door.
That's right. You can park a car outside the cheese shop with the tires and wheels taken off.
Yeah.
And then just pop those Parmigiano Reggios on there.
Perfect crime.
And no one will know. Yeah.
And that's the thing, stealing that much, you would assume that it would have some kind of impact on the market, thus driving the price even further up.
I think this only works though if you steal cheddar, because then you can be like, yeah, I got a tip on some hot cheddar.
They don't call it cheddar for no reason.
So I'm getting hungry reading about this.
Cheese is good.
Anyway, they then explained that while most cheese, the kind that you just put on a sandwich, or in the case of our country, the kind that isn't even technically cheese, has gone up in price with inflation, like a lot of grocery staples. But the fancier the cheese, the bigger the inflation. As for who's buying black market cheese, it sounds like it's restaurants and retailers who are presumably getting their products at a nice discount and not asking too many questions.
Yeah, no, yes, you've got a really cheap amount of Parmesan, sure.
Yeah, I can make that disappear.
Exactly.
And yeah, the nice thing about cheese is it leaves basically no evidence. The people buying it are either reselling it or using it to make food. And it's not like the cops can check the serial number on a restaurant's cheese. Cheese is cheese.
I mean, the wheels probably have some kind of identifier. I know in Italy, you have to do like the DOCG for wine.
The Italians, they take the cheese seriously.
Yeah.
I don't know about other places, though.
But
I'm sure you can just shave off that serial number.
I guess
Scratch it off.
I guess you could, yes. The other thing is, the rising cost of, as everyone complains, butter and eggs. Well, cheese can sit there and age for the most part.
The fancier the cheese, generally, the longer you have to figure out what to do with it. Mm-hmm. And yeah, apparently butter, there's a lot of butter heists.
Damn, okay.
Because, you can basically do arbitrage with butter.
I don't even know why anyone needs to steal it. Just go to the dumpster at Costco. They've been throwing it away for weeks.
Well,
because they say people didn't know it was dairy, so got to get rid of it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's not. It's like, it's a popular target for thieves because it's kind of the perfect crime.
It's like PS5s. In fact, a wheel of cheese might be more expensive than a PS5 in some cases.
Mm-hmm. Someone comes up to you and says, I got this Gouda, got this big wheel of Gouda, and guess what? 10% cheaper than you're going to find it anywhere else. You're going to be like, well, I do like Gouda.
If someone came up to me in a parking lot and was like, I got an Xbox for like $300, I'd be like, no, go. If someone said, I got a wheel of cheese, $300, I would at least be intrigued.
Yeah,
I would
I'd
say,
be like, let me sample the goods.
hold on.
Let me pull out my switchblade and I just scrape out a little bit and I bring it up to my nose to get a sniff.
Ah, yes.
Oh yeah,
Smells awful. So that must be really good.
That's the real thing.
Yeah.
So they run down several recent high-profile examples of cheese heists right here.
Mm-hmm. The annual global cost of illicit trade and fraud in the food sector is estimated between $30 billion and $50 billion US, according to a recent report by the World Trade Organization. And according to the UK's Centre for Retail Research, in the earlier 2000s, cheese was the most stolen product in the UK and Europe. In 2022, thieves stole 161 wheels of cheese worth about $32,000 Canadian from a Dutch cheese farmer, according to the New York Times. A farmer? Was it a heist?
Yeah, I mean, he probably had it in the barn drying out. It was probably, that would suck to be the person that actually made the cheese, getting your cheese stolen. That's like,
Or
especially, or
you're like, I got a product so good they're willing to steal and kill for it.
Or you're just like, oh no, I made all this great cheese, but it disappeared. Anyway, hello, insurance?
Hello, subsidy department? Yeah. Dairy farms in the Netherlands are frequently targeted, with the website Dutch News reporting in 2016 that 8,500 kilograms of Dutch cheese was stolen in the previous year, worth about $135,000. Italy is also often a target for Parmigiano Reggiano thieves. In 2016, CBS reported that about $9.7 million worth of the hard Italian cheese had been stolen in the past 2 years. The U.S. isn't immune, with 20,000 pounds of fresh Wisconsin cheese worth about $64,000 nabbed by cheese bandits in 2016. And in Canada, thieves made off with $187,000 worth of cheese from Saputo Dairy Products in Tavistock, Ontario in 2019.
Well, maybe that guy from the first story, maybe he's a cheese guy.
He's a cheese smuggler.
Cheese thief. Yeah, maybe he's been smuggling cheese between Wisconsin and Canada, and he got a false tip that the cops were onto him. Mm-hmm. So he's like, all right,
I got to get out of both countries.
I need to go somewhere where they've never even heard of cheese.
Yeah.
Uzbekistan.
Mm-hmm.
I assume they don't know what cheese is there. I could be wrong. You'll let us know. But moving on now to an update to one of the funniest stories in recent weeks. The Onion buying Infowars. The crown jewel of the Alex Jones media empire being sold to the gold standard of satirical journalism in order to pay off Alex Jones's exorbitant debts to the people he defamed seemed almost too good to be true, and it might be.
They're certainly going to fight for it.
Alex Jones and his lawyers quickly moved to halt the sale, at least temporarily, until a judge can review it, because the Onion's bid wasn't actually the highest bid. The highest bid came from First United American Companies, which is a company Alex Jones is affiliated with at minimum. And they apparently run the supplement website shopalexjones.com. They offered more than double what the Onion did. So Alex Jones is like, what the fuck? I thought, what happened to going to the highest bidder? Mm-hmm. Now, of course, letting Alex Jones essentially buy his own company in an auction definitely goes against the spirit of this whole thing. Yeah. And the Onion's bid actually has the backing of most of the people that Alex Jones owes money to. So, yeah, it'll be very interesting to see how the judge in this case rules, which is apparently this coming Monday is when the decision will be made. We'll see.
Yeah. But in the meantime, assuming the Onion does successfully acquire Infowars, something they'll also be acquiring is an absurdly long list of website domain names that Infowars owns, many of which are pretty odd. There appears to be nearly 600 of these domains, many of which have names you'd expect, or just Infowars with more words added. But here's a few that happen to stand out. Americasmasher.com, ArnoldTheInvader.com, AsiaWars.com, BecomeASupermale.com, CookingMemes.com, Cuckley, what? DerpState.news, DonaldMcRonald.com, EvilCities.com, FluorideCleanse.com. I know a guy who wants to buy that one, right?
I'll take that website from you.
FreedomNugget.com, GangstaGov.us, GoblinFire.com, GoblinLove.com, InfoBabes.us, I'mNotBragging.news, RedBloodParty.com, StartHavingKids.com, SucculentDinosaur.com, WokiLeaks.news, and then just a lot of domains with the word Obama in them.
Yeah, he was going wild with Obama domains there for a while.
If you park on one of these domains, someone's going to buy it one day.
So many Obama domains, so many websites with, I assume, Obama with the Heath Ledger Joker makeup on.
Yeah.
That was a really hot image back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, several websites about Arnold Schwarzenegger, and I guess Alex Jones doesn't really like him.
Oh.
There's also one, I guess he had a website just like on the back burner in case him and Joe Rogan fell out. It was just like JoeRoganExposed.com.
Don't make me launch the site.
That's like his hobby. Alex Jones, when he's not working out, drinking, eating barbecue, he's registering new domains.
Yeah.
And sitting on them and probably making a pretty penny on the ones that people... These are just the ones he hasn't sold. You should see the ones he sold. Facebook.com. Registered in 2001.
Yep. He was on top
How
of
did he
it.
know?
A lot of people, king of one domain. I'm the king of many. But in other political news, we've got the latest on Matt Gaetz's failed kamikaze bid to be our nation's next attorney general. And when we last talked about this, there was at least the possibility that Gaetz would simply withdraw his resignation from Congress and return to work like nothing happened. But that didn't seem too likely, considering the whole reason that he did all of this was to avoid that ethics report about him being released. And if he returns to Congress, the investigation would resume. So, yeah, no surprise. But Gaetz has confirmed that he is done being a congressman. How convenient.
Yeah.
Must be nice.
I need to return to my home planet, Florida.
He told Charlie Kirk, "I'm still going to be in the fight, but it's going to be from a new perch. I do not intend to join the 119th Congress. There are a number of fantastic Floridians who've stepped up to run for my seat. People who have inspired with their heroism, with their public service. And I'm actually excited to see Northwest Florida go to new heights and have great representation. I'm going to be fighting for President Trump. I'm going to be doing whatever he asks of me, as I always have. But I think that 8 years is probably enough time in the United States Congress."
So with that seat presumably being vacant for like at least a few months, I mean, I guess they still have control of Congress, but it narrows it even more.
There were a couple other names apparently that drew bodies away from a potential majority. I don't know if any of that's going to come to fruition.
Well, I'm sure they love that they have one less Trump loyalist ready to vote.
Yeah.
And I'm excited to see all the freaks from Florida that move in to take his spot.
How do you out-freak Gaetz?
Oh, I believe they can.
Yeah.
I believe we will see freakishness, the likes of which we've never seen before.
What if it's a good Florida man this time? Just
No,
once. Just once.
No. Unless you run.
No. I'm a California man.
But now that he's unemployed and has so much more time on his hands, Matt Gaetz is doing what so many famous people addicted to attention have done before. He has joined Cameo.
Ugh.
And if you're hoping for a video shout out from Matt Gaetz, or maybe a birthday message for your significantly younger girlfriend telling her that actually this is normal and cool, that's going to run you over $500. And while this seems almost too pathetic to be true, so far he has done at least one Cameo video in which he gives an encouraging pep talk to someone named Toby who builds websites for a living.
Yeah,
Awesome.
I need a good pep talk because the one guy who has supported all of my website building over the years has been forced to sell every domain he has.
My biggest customer.
Yeah.
So anyway, I hope that was worth it, whoever paid for that.
Yeah.
What's especially weird here, though, is that unlike a lot of the other disgraced politicians on Cameo, like George Santos, Rod Blagojevich, Matt Gaetz doesn't seem like he really needs the money, considering his dad is worth like $35 million, and his wife, the sister of a billionaire, works for a major accounting firm.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think they're hurting for cash.
It is bizarre. It's, yes.
But it's probably not about the money. It's about the attention.
Yeah. And about the cool emails you get from all of your very young fans, I guess, for him being like, "Oh, yeah, saying happy birthday to someone here." Well, why would they lie about their age in a Cameo request?
The thing he's going to miss most is, 17-year-olds love it when you're like, "Hey, I'm a politician. You're really beautiful." And now he can't do that because he's not a politician anymore. So Cameo it is.
Yeah.
That's how you meet the hottest, youngest chicks on the internet.
Way to go, Matt Gaetz.
So cool.
What a
Very
career.
exciting. Do not give him money. I'm like,
no, don't.
Obviously, like we've gotten to the point, I think.
In this economy, who could afford a Matt Gaetz Cameo?
Like every fucking time some dirtbag joins Cameo, there's always people are just like rushing to give them money.
Yeah.
And just don't do it.
It is it's weird to think about the sick kind of freak who would buy a Matt Gaetz cameo as a gift for someone. Like, you know your favorite politician?
Yeah.
It's,
Thank you. It's everything I've always wanted.
Mm-hmm. But speaking of Republicans never saying no to a revenue stream, we figured once the election was over, we'd at least be done with all the Trump various junk that he's been putting out. You know, the shoes, the watches, the NFTs. But there's a surprise around every corner.
Yeah, I guess they had this one in the pipeline for all eventualities.
This week, Trump unveiled the most hideous and overpriced line of guitars ever seen. They've got shiny fretboard inlays that say, "Make America Great Again," "God Bless the USA," or Donald J. Trump. They've got gaudy American flag bald eagle graphics on the body, and they cost, at minimum, $1,000, though the price goes up to $11,250 if you want your shitty, almost certainly made in China guitar signed by the man himself. These specifications even make clear that the strings these things ship with are MAGA benders, and the pickups are MAGA 45 Trump buckers.
I mean, first off, $1,000 for a guitar is, I mean, considering how inflated the prices for every other Trump grifting crap has been, $1,000 for a guitar is not that expensive these days. They've gotten more expensive. Generally, if you're paying over $1,000 for a guitar, though, that guitar is made in the USA. And if these guitars were made in the USA, they would advertise, they'd lead with that, I think. And they don't, so they're not.
This is definitely the guitar that they buy for the crew to come out and they swap it so they can smash one on stage. This is a
guitar that's going behind glass.
They know who's
your local dentist's home.
Yes, they know who's going to buy this. People who don't play guitars but want to fill out the man cave.
Yeah, I mean, as soon as I saw this, I just headed straight to reddit.com/r/guitars to see their reactions to it, and it was some good shit because they noticed things I wouldn't have noticed. First of all, these are Gibson style guitars, and Gibson's signature thing is that they have a unibody design. The neck, the wood from the neck goes all the way to the end, and that is supposedly better for sustain. These are bolted on necks, which is Fender style. And this is a big faux pas in guitar design. It's a dead giveaway that you don't know what the fuck you're doing. And
but why would you ever play it? Were you gonna scuff that signature off?
That's true.
This is for displays at your own personal Hard Rock Cafe in your basement while you complain about the economy and the price of eggs.
Like, the actual content aside, like the inlays, I like inlays that have like text.
Yeah.
But the graphics printed on the bodies of these guitars, it looks like the shirts you'd buy at like a fucking Boardwalk gift store, where it has the American flag and the eagle, and it says like, "I don't care if I hurt your feelings." Anyways, before we get into the headlines half of the episode, let's take a quick second to thank our sponsor, Hims Hair. The perfect solution to all that hair that's been falling off your head in these very fun, very interesting times.
Yeah.
Now, some men, like one of the hosts of this very show, are able to navigate hair loss gracefully and confidently. But not everyone looks fantastic with a bald head, and there's nothing wrong with wanting to keep that lush, flowing mane of yours just the way it is. Or maybe even turn back time, back to when it was lush and flowing. And now with Hims, the solution is simple. Try Hims Hair Loss Solutions, and you'll be joining hundreds of thousands of subscribers who got their flow back.
Hims provides you with convenient and quality access to a range of hair loss treatments that work, all from the comfort of your couch. Hims makes treating hair loss simple with doctor-trusted options and clinically proven ingredients like finasteride and minoxidil that can regrow hair in as little as 3 to 6 months. Choose from personalized, chewable, oral, spray, and serum treatments to find what works best for you. The process is simple and 100% online, so there's no uncomfortable doctor visits. Answer a few questions and a medical provider will determine if treatment is right for you. If prescribed, your treatment is sent directly to you in discreet packaging for free.
No insurance is needed, and one low price covers everything from treatments to ongoing care. Hims has hundreds of thousands of trusted subscribers, and they can help you get your confidence back too, with visibly thicker and fuller hair. Start your free online visit today at hims.com/weird. That's HIMS.com/weird for your personalized hair loss treatment options. hims.com/weird. Results vary based on studies of topical and oral minoxidil and finasteride. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if a prescription is appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for full details and important safety information.
And before we get back into the headlines, remember, if you're just, for some reason you skipped the beginning, these are real. They're available. You can pre-order them now.
They do exist.
They do exist. And I think they're, somewhat reasonably priced. Support the show and get them.
I think I'm going to order some
I'm
myself.
going to order one but just for the experience.
I'm going to order some for my parents. So that
that's right.
I'm always there with them when they're on the computer.
That's right. Yeah, much like Mike Johnson and his kids.
I'm like, Mom, you can throw the Ricky one away. I know you only want the one with me on it. Why'd you throw me away?
She's going to throw it away, and it's going to she's going to find it somewhere later.
Yeah. Wait, I thought I threw Ricky away.
That's right. Always watching.
A Ricky on the...
No, having you at your parents' house sitting on their computer monitoring them is just like the Mike Johnson and his son thing. Your dad is not going to crank one out when you're sitting right there on his computer.
That is really funny. Yeah. Anyone who buys this, anything they do on their computer going forward, they're going to have to look me in the eye.
Exactly.
And I'm going to be sitting there. What are you doing?
Well, you're smiling, the whole time.
What are you doing there? Anyways.
Let's get into the weirdest, wildest, craziest headlines from around the world this week, starting with...
Police find 2-kilogram garden gnome made entirely out of MDMA. This is like one of those gummy bears, those novelty gummy bears that's like the size of an actual bear.
Yeah.
But it's ecstasy.
The garden gnomes, there's something to do with the swinger culture, right? Isn't it like in the suburbs?
Are.
Okay. I feel like the garden gnome thing also has some like weird sexual thing going on.
I didn't know that. I have one. Someone gave me a garden gnome, and I don't know what. It's hideous. I don't know what to fucking do with it.
Oh, look, there's the polycule.
Yeah,
we're at the right house.
It's not in the front yard. It is not on view to the public.
I got a little one that has it's Godzilla, and he's ripping apart other garden gnomes.
What fetish is that? I'm a scaly. I'm a scaly who swings.
But anyways, how did they figure this out? They just found it?
they raided a drug dealer's place.
Oh, okay.
And they were like just doing inventory in the place. It was like, wait, this garden gnome is very heavy, and my fingers are tingling.
Yeah.
And yeah,
I need a cigarette right now.
This is like a crazy classic drug trafficking thing, where they'll just make an object entirely out of the drugs.
Yeah.
And it works.
Classic. Cheech and Chong's Up in Smoke, they made a whole van out of marijuana and tried to drive it back across the border.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then, the tailpipe gets so hot, it starts burning the marijuana, and the smoke was getting all the drivers high.
Oh, jeez. What
Even
hijinks.
the cops that pulled them over. What hijinks?
Oh, that Cheech. Oh, that Chong. When will they learn?
CNN's Dana Bash doesn't know what side of the aisle neo-Nazi marchers in Ohio come from.
This past couple weeks, I've seen some incredibly, alarmingly stupid fucking takes from the mainstream news media. But this one still manages to take the cake, where there's people marching in Ohio with literal swastika flags. And you look at these people.
Could be anyone.
They're clearly Nazis. And Dana Bash is just like, I don't know. Usually you'd think they'd be right-wingers, but,
These days
you just don't know, because people have been protesting against Jewish congressmen just for being Jewish.
Shut up.
It's so fucking dishonest. It really, the past year and some change it's highlighted a lot of things wrong with our news media. But this moment, I was flabbergasted.
Yeah.
I was shocked. You fucking bitch. You know exactly. Shut up. God damn it.
No. Gotta be fair. That could be anyone under those ski masks.
Yeah, well, they were, Nazi means National Socialist.
Yeah, must be the left.
So that's like Bernie Sanders. And these Bernie bros, they don't like Israel, which is anti-Semitic. So, yeah.
There you go. Makes sense.
Who's to say what side these Nazis are on? God damn it.
So mysterious.
Woman who heard animal noises from under her house had naked man living there.
Well, she wasn't wrong. They were animal noises.
Humans are animals.
That's right.
And
he was in his most primal form.
A naked human, is more animal than a clothed human.
Yes.
So I do wonder what exactly the sound sounded like.
Probably just some scurrying.
It's probably that. I was thinking like grunts and groans and...
What's he doing down there?
Who knows? Probably jerking it.
I would assume just moving around. Because if you're sitting in your home and it's quiet, anything that makes a noise is going to be suspicious, especially if it repeats itself. And you would be like, okay, well, there's, a raccoon down there or something.
Yeah. Just a raccoon. Nothing to see here.
Yeah.
Not a raccoon. It was a guy. And the cops came and were like, get out from under the house. We can see you down there. Just get out.
No, he can't.
And it took like hours. They had to fire like tear gas under the house multiple
No.
times to try to smoke him out. He finally came out.
Yeah.
But,
Tear gas will do that, yeah.
Yeah. Wait, this sucks. Let me out.
New Jersey school district mistakenly releases names of students opted out of sex ed classes.
I think they should do this on purpose. I love this. Yeah. All the kids, because, you can no longer teach sex ed in schools like anywhere in this country.
That's smart. That'll definitely not result in a lot of unwanted pregnancies.
Yeah, you have to send home a permission slip to every kid. And if your parents are fucking weird, they can say no. And I don't know what the kids do during class while everyone else is learning how sex works, but it's just very funny. And now the list is public. These are the dorks of the class.
Well,
don't date these boys. They think,
and they have no idea what's going on.
They think having sex is peeing in your butt.
Yeah,
that's not what it is. Because they didn't learn.
That's right. Third oarfish, mythical harbinger of doom, found washed up in California. Uh-oh.
Cool. You're late, oarfish. It already happened.
Yeah. The omens, you've missed the call.
But the actual omen they're doing is probably more related to climate change than anything else.
Yeah, I would assume that.
Because, these guys, they live way deep down there. They're not supposed to be coming up. And, it's like in the last 120-something years, they're like, there's been a couple dozen. And we just had 3 wash up in San Diego in the past month and a half.
Yeah.
Not good.
The ocean is angry.
Maybe they're trying to escape from something down there. Something big and scary. Some
guy who dropped his cell phone off his kayak and then disappeared.
I was thinking more like Godzilla or Cthulhu.
Oh, that would be cool. Step on us, Godzilla. We deserve it.
Step on me, daddy. Billionaire internet company boss turns up to real-life 1v1 against COD player angry about lag.
Okay.
The French telecom CEO and some French COD player tweeted at the CEO of the company. He's like, "Fuck you! Lag's killing my streak over here playing Call of Duty." And this this like 70-year-old French man actually showed up and was posting like, "I'm here. Where the fuck are you?
I got the lowest ping you've ever seen.
Get down here, bitch."
Yeah. Did the kid fight him?
No, the kid's like, "Oh, actually, it's cold outside. I don't want to go."
See, there you go.
Yeah.
That's all you have to do is stand up to the bullies.
Well, he didn't have to do anything, but I guess he was in the mood for it. They caught him on a day where he you know what? I will take that smoke.
This is something that former T-Mobile CEO John Legere would do.
John Legere would do that, and he'd probably bring that little doll of his.
Yeah. This is the Legere doll. It's me, but smaller.
What is he doing these days? I wonder.
Enjoying his golden parachute.
I wonder if he reverted to his pre-T-Mobile persona, where he was just like a normal-looking dude who wore suits and shit.
Yeah, because T-Mobile sold, and so that was it. That's all he was there to do was to build the company up. And
But when he became the CEO of T-Mobile, he looked normal, and then he like grew his hair long and
because he had to make it the hip young.
Started dressing like a 12-year-old. It was very strange.
It's good that we don't know what he's up to, I guess.
Yeah.
For him, if you're a billionaire, you don't want people to know what's going on.
He could be a great asset to the Department of Government Efficiency.
Yeah. Have we talked about John Legere finding some things to cut?
I would trust John Legere more than I trust those two.
I guess so. Yeah.
I mean, whatever. It's all stupid. Everything's fucking stupid.
Now Gen Z are waging war on our sandwiches. How younger Brits are ditching English classics like ham and mustard in favor of fancy woke fillings.
So the Daily Mail, obviously.
Yeah.
What
are the woke fillings? Grey Poupon, fancy or mustard?
Just like they literally said, continental cheeses, which is hilarious because all the good cheeses are continental cheeses,
and we can't get them anymore because they're all stolen.
Like England has cheddar. I think that's about I'm sure they got a couple other cheeses, but all the good ones are from the continent.
Okay.
You're acting like it's like fucking 1910. Like, oh, what is this, brie? That's so strange. Where did you get that? No, it's across the fucking channel. What's the problem? Yeah, they're using like that and like olives. They're putting olives on bread. So the sandwiches have gone woke. Yeah. Gen Z has killed sandwiches. I'm just glad they're not blaming things on us anymore.
That's right. It's now
Finally,
Gen Z's turn.
It took so long.
Yeah.
They were blaming millennial teenagers for everything long after.
35-year-old millennial teenagers.
It got ridiculous. So now it's...
I also think that's, one of the reasons why we're in this gerontocracy is that the generations that are, for whatever reason, still at the levers of power in every industry, they're all 70, 65 and older. and just refuse to relinquish power to a younger generation.
Yes.
Even a generation that's in their 40s or 50s.
Yeah, they consider millennials, regardless of their age, to be children and,
you watch
and irresponsible and incapable of running things.
Watching any documentary or reading any book about American industry in like the 50s or 60s.
These guys are all
like the CEO. We gave the guy the CEO. He's the CEO of Coke now. He's 32 years old.
Yeah.
He's got a lot of big ideas.
I don't know. He seems a little bit old. Are you sure? 32?
Yeah.
What if he drops dead of a heart attack?
Yeah, any day now.
Yeah, that is the craziest thing of just learning like anything about the past is just everyone. Yeah, people in positions of authority were young.
Yep. They had to make decisions that affected them on a day-to-day basis.
Even stuff like president is like, oh, like JFK was like unusually young by those standards, but also like Joe Biden is the oldest president we've ever had.
It's funny.
And now Donald Trump is like the second oldest president we've ever had.
The one standing rule about age is just like, all right, well, we can't have a president that's too young.
Yeah.
Back then it was like, okay, we got a lot of really good options here, but they're all just a little too young. They're in their early 30s, late 20s. I just don't think they're ready yet.
Yeah.
What? An 80-year-old president? That'll never happen. We got to make a rule about someone too young.
No one will ever live that long. Don't be ridiculous.
But yes, that is insane because at that point, now you can't retire either because there's no one retiring.
Uh-huh.
So you're just in a lower position all the way up through your entire career.
Yeah.
Same with housing and everything else. It's just the oldest generation just desperately clinging on to everything.
There's a lot of good sci-fi about like immortality being achieved and the oldest generation at the time of the invention of immortality just holding on to power like indefinitely.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of reality.
Yeah.
Russian ballet star is latest Putin critic to die in fall from building.
Damn. And they love their ballet stars.
They do.
Yeah.
And I guess they feel extra betrayed when one of them is not fully supportive of the war in Ukraine.
Oh, sorry. I was talking about that like it was some sort of murder. It was just an accident, obviously.
Right. It's a tragic accident.
Yes.
You would think someone doing
I'm
ballet
sure the whole
would
nation
be,
is in mourning.
You know, ballet, it really requires like a really insane level of like coordination and balance and strength.
But you know, those windows can come out of nowhere.
Kind of the last occupation, the last type of person you'd expect to clumsily fall out of a window. But, you know, it happens to the best of us here in Russia.
And land in such a way that confirms death.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
it's just strange.
They got to do something about those windows.
Yeah, they need to seal every window until we get this figured out. Wonka sex experience.
Nope.
Wonka experience creator put on sex offenders list.
Look,
he certainly is not enjoying his time in the limelight.
No, it sounds worse than it is. I guess over in England, because it sounds like he diddled kids or something like that. Mm-hmm. But you can get put on the sex offender list in the UK for just being a creep, and in his case, just aggressively messaging a woman repeatedly who said, "Please stop messaging me."
I mean, that is harassment.
It is. I kind of like it, just without the connotation that it comes with.
It's just like
this guy's a real
separate
freak.
designation. Yeah,
you can't trust this man around your kids. But and his defense is like, you know, the Wonka experience, it was really hard on me. Sent me down a spiral.
Yeah, probably.
Probably, but I mean,
don't harass people.
Yeah. Also, don't publicize events that attract thousands of guests when you have no plan in place, and you know it's a big dumb waste of everyone's money. Maybe don't do that. I put him on the event offenders list.
Okay.
For doing an event that was offensive.
That's right. Right next to the Bridgerton people.
And finally, man finds smooth Mars bar without signature ripple.
Oh, no, you don't. No, you don't. Every once in a while, this comes back just like that dress that's clearly gold and white, Elliot.
It's finally happened.
Someone has ruined our reality.
Don't tell Tucker Carlson. He's going to lose his mind.
There's no dick vein on that Mars bar.
The woke mob has removed the dick vein from the Mars bar over in the UK, and it's only a matter of time before they cross the Atlantic and take the dick vein off of our beloved Snickers bars.
That's right, yeah.
What is going on?
The dick vein adds like an extra little bit of chocolate, too. There's a couple extra ounces in there.
It does.
Yeah.
And great mouthfeel.
It really fills up the whole mouth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With you need that friction. Otherwise, it just goes in and out of your mouth easily.
It could fall out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Something to hold on to.
You'll go straight down your throat. And if you haven't trained your throat, you could have some serious issues with that. So, yeah, this is very concerning.
Yeah. I could not even imagine opening up a wrapper and finding a smooth candy bar.
It's like a golden ticket. I would be so excited.
What do I get? Did I win something? Yes, you get to go to the AI-produced Wonka experience over in Glasgow.
Yay. Is there going to be...
It's run by a real creep.
Is there going to be sex offenders there?
You bet.
Cool.
Anyways, here they come again. They're toys. They're real.
It's us, but tiny. And sitting on your computer, watching every keystroke you put onto that thing.
Have you ever wanted to buy a friend? Heck, have you ever wanted to buy 2 friends?
Yeah, for the price of one.
Yeah.
I don't know what the price of one is, but I assume it's whatever this one is.
I think it's $30. I checked.
It's a great deal.
Yeah.
Anyway, they're on sale now. Links below.
Click the link.
Limited time. I think it's like 3 weeks or something. So get to it.
Yeah, buy it, please.
Buy as many as you can because
4,
once they're
5,
gone,
7. I mean, get an 8-pack.
Yeah.
Yeah, put them all around the house. This is the new Elf on a Shelf.
Yeah.
It's Ricky and Elliot on a computer.
Internet today on a bidet.
Yeah. Don't put me on your debate. Bidet. Check those out. Buy them, please. Make sure you like the video. Click the like button right now. Appreciate it. Leave a comment. Talk about whatever. Doesn't matter. Watch our other videos. They're up there. We got Matt Gaetz shooting so much Botox in his face to get ready for those cameo videos. You're not going to believe what he looks like.
A new face every day.
And we have an episode of Tech News Day. Check both of those out, and we'll see you soon.
Bye-bye.
Bye.